Perfect.
Yeah.
Is it rocket?
Yes. Yeah.
Rocket. Awesome.
Like, screw belly flying. I'm flying a shelf. Happy.
And here we are now with the whole gang, and not only the coach. And welcome SDC Rhythm XP. Here they are. Training day is over. Mikhail, did you have a good training day?
Always.
Did your new coach give you some whipping and stuff?
Yeah, he's putting us, lining us up. Yeah.
He's a tough guy, huh? All right. Well, we spoke with Shannon already a little bit earlier, and I guess we're gonna keep him on the quiet side this time. Who wants to break the news about the coaching anyway? Volunteers. It's completely new to me, and so can you explain a little bit what happened actually? That you're keeping him now for the year, or who wants to break the news? Somebody break the news.
We got this cage and put some biscuits in it, and he just walked in, and then from then on he was sort of ours.
So the last time we spoke, I believe I remember that it was more like you were picking up a little bit here, picking up a little bit there, but now that evolution was so successful, you said, no, we're going to take Shannon, or
No,
for the whole year.
this is an important year for sure, and we're trying to kind of up every level of our commitment and our efforts, and part of that is even a deeper commitment to sort of getting coaching, and we talked to Shannon, also other people, but about playing that role of a coach, but not just a coach that's there, sort of infrequently, but on a much more regular basis. And we're happy that he said yes, and that's what's going on.
So you wanted a Papa Shannon, not only a coach, you wanted a Papa Shannon. Okay, I get that. You say it's an important year. 2016 is an important year. We have the World Championship of Formation Skydiving, the Mondial 2016, on your home turf. So what does it take to get there, Jeanette?
Well, we have to win this year in 2015, so that's the plan.
And winning this year means there is a big job coming at the USBI Nationals. That's where you qualify. It requires to defeat Arizona Airspeed. I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of that, because it's an open goal that you have to compete in 2016 for the US delegation, and you have to face it somehow. What kind of emotions or feelings are coming up when you think about it? I know you're thinking mostly about your tasks, your jobs and all that stuff, but you cannot tell me that you're not thinking of competing with Airspeed at the national championships this year. What does it bring you as of mental energy or the psychology behind that? Christy, you're the expert with that.
I think the most important thing for us is, like Steve said, this, we know it's an important year, and so we have devised, every advantage we can possibly think of, and are taking those advantages as much as we can. And to me, like, knowing that we have these great resources this year, and we have a great plan, I guess that gives me the confidence that it can be done. Just looking, and you can look at other teams too, like the amount of progress, just evolution made last year within a year was just crazy impressive, and there's no reason with our backgrounds that we won't do the same. So I think you just you look for everything you can, look for every advantage you can, because obviously it's a daunting task, but it's not impossible. And like I guess I'm feeling very confident that we have all the pieces in place, and I think we have a really great shot to do what we're after.
When you're literally thinking about it, let's say, you're visualizing, we are at the USBA Nationals now, we are in round 1 is coming up, round 2 is coming up. Does it make you nervous? Do you feel like we're going to take it? Does it bring additional energy? Mikael, what does it do for you?
It makes me really excited, to see the busy hangar at Nationals, seeing all the teams, loading the airplane, and that's a good feeling.
Christy talked about, putting all the resources and doing things, feeling confident. But you've done some extraordinary, things already, not too long ago. One of them was you invited Evolution for a training camp at Paraclete XP. Can you talk about this? It must have been very exciting, very interesting. I would love to hear a little bit more about this. How was the experience?
It was great. Yeah, so we had all of them down, and we did a bunch of 2-on-2 with them, so we could fly with them and feel what they were doing, and have them talk to us about what they were doing. It was great. It was a really fun experience, and we learned a ton, and just really exciting. Yeah.
How much time did you fly?
I think 6.5 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
And so Evolution, as you mentioned it earlier too, they're some kind of a role model this year. Their success in 2014, which they ended up with a bronze medal only. You don't want any of that, I guess. But it was still a very successful year, as Shannon explained it earlier. Is that kind of the way you're looking at them and saying, well, let's see what we can take from them?
Yes.
I think.
Okay, so then let me ask, what are you taking from them?
Well, we spoke about sort of the process of their season, which maybe had a lot to do with really focusing on giving yourself the opportunity to learn slowly, and get things right before worrying about going very fast. Keeping to the fundamentals, and a few basic concepts, and working on those for a long time, And so I think that talking with them about their plan and how that paid off, and we really buy into that, and that's a lot of what Shannon sort of encourages, and we sort of feel very confident that kind of plan will work for us too, or anyone really would work for any team. But
World champion, 2 brothers, Evolution, 3 brothers, Rhythm, Mr. and Mrs. Lefkowitz. Do you think those kind of family relationships have anything to do with the current top of the world performances, or?
I think it's a coincidence, probably, but it's fun.
You're even in the front piece together. Is that? You've been doing this for a long time now, but now you are, getting to the very top of that together, parallel with Hayabusa, with Evolution in a similar situation. They know each other very well. Do you think that's an advantage?
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, certainly, when you know someone as well as I'm sure brothers do and we do, you have a level of comfort with sharing your ideas, let's say, and concerns or whatever, that may be even deeper than, or at least facilitate, that which you want in the teammates, right?
But then at the same time, I know from my own experiences in life, the couples fight, the brothers fight, the Growls brothers, they are having their, the conflicts and stuff. Is that a good thing? Because and then learning how to resolve all this kind of stuff. Or let's talk about this a bit. I find that very interesting. Chrissy, you're an observer of this. What do you think?
Teammates also fight. It's not really. It is. I guess it's like a head start maybe on the relationship of teammate, because you've already, like you said, developed some of those communication habits or protocols. But it's not really any different. Honestly, like, in a team like this, we spend so much time together. It's going to get to a level of that, like just any relationship. If you're with them, you have, strengths and weaknesses, and then just learning to work together and have more good days than bad ones.
Shannon, you're observing this conversation here with enjoying it and smiling and all that. You're new to rhythm too, kind of. You're observing. This is an observation week for you, more or less. Do you have a few questions to rhythm actually for me?
No, but I have a comment on what you just mentioned. I feel like that the family dynamic in a team actually creates, regardless of the advantage it creates, it actually creates a hidden challenge for the team itself in what I've seen, and that is that there's an almost an unspoken or a way that the family or this tighter, more tightly knit group functions is at a level that's perhaps deeper than the rest of the team often. And so I've seen that in the brother situations, the family situations, and I wouldn't know if that exists in a marriage situation, but I would think that it's something very similar. So it creates a dynamic between the couple or the brothers and the whole team. I've seen that dynamic for sure. So it will be interesting.
It's an interesting coincidence, no doubt, at least, that all those top teams seem to have similar situations as of the group dynamics. Let me ask you another question. Did you pick your coach for the year? Did you know that he is one of the few guys, actually competitors, who have really literally beaten Arizona Airspeed, your biggest opponent this year? Were you aware of that? Was it a part of your selection?
I wouldn't say it was a part of the selection, but I mean, we're obviously aware of it. Certainly it's a bonus.
But do you talk about this, Shannon?
No, I hadn't really thought of it until you mentioned it. I mean, I've thought of it it wasn't a very conscious awareness.
But it's a fact and an interesting coincidence too, I guess.
Yeah, I was just going to say, did you know that we were teammates once?
You were teammates? Let me think. Hang on. No, tell us. Come on.
One of my first amateur teams, Exceed, in Paris. We lost a member shortly before Nationals, and Shannon was awesome enough to step in for us. Earlier. Much earlier, 03 or 4.
10 years ago. Oh, 11 years ago. Awesome.
First team, first series team, and then Paris Fury. And with Paris Fury, you were chasing Arizona Airspeed too. Now, in the past, in the previous years until here, chasing the reigning champion, the defending champion, the world champion, was kind of, it was there somehow, but it was not as serious as it is now. Now you're really confronting them, challenging them. Does it make any difference in the mind game of the whole thing? Is it bringing energy to you, or I mean, compared to the past years where you were, on your way up, but Arizona Airspeed was so far away? Any?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
In the past years, it wasn't really that serious. You were on your way up. Your goal far away was that you wanted to get to the top in the US and in the world, but it was really far away. Now you're close. It's very serious and real this year. Does that change the game, the mental game, somehow?
Yeah, I don't know that it really does. I think every nationals I go with the thought of trying to perform our best and do the best that our training has led us to, and that's the way I foresee this nationals going, The difference perhaps is this idea of sort of investing, just sort of every possible resource and every possible avenue that we can take, you know. Not that we ever did before, but perhaps this year a little bit more like, well, what else is there, you know? But at the point that we get to nationals, I don't see it as any different. It's now we've done what we've done, and let's go do our best, you know.
Okay. Well, I will get back to this question before round 1 at the nationals, or maybe better after the nationals. Last topic, quickly only, and maybe we have a little bit more to that. Any comments and any thoughts about the Block 10 situation? I don't know how much you have. Has anybody followed that more seriously, closely? The discussion about the change of Block 10 or the dive pool in general, upcoming. Any thoughts there?
I mean, I think it's cool to change things up and get new things. It just would be nice if it's something like different, you know. I don't know what they're looking at now. Like, Block 10 is so unique that it'd be nice to keep it something that's unique. That's my
Bring
big
back
thing.
old 13.
Yeah, like old 13.
I loved Hammer, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the reason why it went away, actually? Are you familiar with it?
I assume it was because judging and or every intermediate team had a difficult time choosing the correct direction.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this will come up pretty soon. I think it's in January, the IPC meeting. Shannon, last word. What's your plan for the week with the rhythm, besides observing?
We finish tomorrow. Well, they have 2 more days, right? Tomorrow and Monday, and then they have another 4 days before I'm back, and then we meet in Rayford at the end of the month at the wind tunnel.
And then the rest of the year schedule in a nutshell, what with the as of meet situation. Mikael, we haven't heard from you in a while. Give us a quick overview of the rhythm 2015 season.
A lot of training occurred. No, on a serious note though, we've got 800-ish jumps, quite a bit of tunnel, a few of the spring meets as usual, the Paraclete meets and Bedford.
What did you call it?
The Bedrock Showdown.
And yeah,
And then
then a bit, yeah, busy summer.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Anything for what we need to know? That's it. Okay.
You know what hasn't been said? We're excited. I think they've all said it, and I just want to say what we're all hiding behind the mask is I think we're all very excited about
I'm excited too.
Yeah. So thank you for letting us talk.
Well, and thanks for bringing up a challenge for the defending champions.
Yeah.
That's exciting for everybody, and I hope everybody will enjoy it. Thank you very much, Rhythm.
Thank you, Kurt.